I'm on the hunt for a great desk microphone, so I picked up this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. This is the HyperX QuadCast microphone, and what I love about it is it appears to have a lot of features. Now, it's not the cheapest microphone out there, but it's also not the most expensive. But what I really wanted to do is have a microphone that sits on my desk, allows me to do web conferences, Zoom calls, record videos, and get that really nice, rich audio quality that you have come to expect from other YouTube channels. But not this one, because I just throw it together here last minute. And this one actually seemed to be a pretty nice one, and I thought, why not get the best product out there for you guys? Now, I actually don't know if this is the best one ever. You know, I just bought it, but it seemed to get pretty good reviews, and it looked pretty cool. I will say, though, that as far as I know, it glows red when it's powered on, which is probably not my favorite color. Blue is, FYI. But I do kind of like the fact that it has such an obvious light to show that it's on. It comes in this like plastic case that is fused together. There we go. Got it open here. And here is the microphone, and it is pretty well assembled as far as I can tell. First of all, we get a cable. Ooh, I like that it's like nylon braided, so it's got that protective cover on it, which should make it pretty durable, especially if you tend to get it pinched or roll over with a chair, those kinds of things. It also seems like it is very long, so if you are using a desktop computer and you're pretty far away from it, you shouldn't have a problem. That looks like it's at least 7 feet, maybe 8 feet. It's USB to mini USB. You don't see a lot of these mini USB plugs anymore, but they work. They work just fine. You also get the microphone here, which looks the business. Now, I will say, you also get a little additional adapter here. So if you wanted to put this onto a post, a microphone post, or a boom arm or something like that, that does come in there, which is kind of nice. But otherwise, everything else is right here. So I want to show this to you. It's actually good weight, but it's not overly heavy. You can feel that the heaviest part right here is this base. You get this round base. You have these rubber pads on the bottom, so it should insulate it from noise or vibration. It should also make sure that it doesn't slide off. It's got a really nice look and feel to it. These kind of soft curves on it make it feel really nice. You get a little thumb screw here so I can unscrew it and tilt it up, especially if this is going to sit down on the desk in front of me. What I want it to do is be pointed up at me, because even though I'm going to use it as a cardioid microphone, and you can see that it's selected that cardioid pattern there, we actually get 4 modes with it. So looks like a stereo mode, a omnidirectional cardioid, just speaking into the pickup right there, and then also a bipolar mode, so I can put this in front of me and have someone on the other side of the table also speaking into it. It's great for podcasting, but for me, I'm just going to use with that cardioid pattern. Look at the grate on this. It's really kind of cool looking. You get this red foam in there, and then there is a button right here. This is actually soft touch, almost like rubber, and that will mute it. So if I'm sitting here talking on this thing and I'm about to cough, I can just hit mute and then go and then come back and be like, and welcome back to the Sweet Nothings by Peter Von Panda. So you won't interrupt your recordings with a coughing fit. You also have this spring carriage right here, so that's going to be a nice noise isolation piece right here. Many of the stands I have are microphones that are in rigid stands, and while I don't know that this makes a huge difference, I have noticed that there are a number of times when I hit my keyboard or move my mouse or accidentally do this on the table, and this will help prevent a lot of that from getting telegraphed through. You can see they are on like little bungee cords here, and while it is nice and stable, it doesn't want to move around a lot. If I do something here, that's a doo-doo. If I do something here, it's not going to necessarily translate directly to impact sound or shock on the microphone. Now, the other interesting thing about this is this bottom, again, a rubberized little cap here, but this is your gain as far as I can tell. And so what this will do is this will slide higher and lower. Now, what's also interesting here is the 5 dots are not the markings for where the stops are. So on the lowest gain, it's about right there. And if I turn it all the way up here, looks like it's the highest gain, I'm kind of guessing. And so I'm probably going to use it somewhere in the middle here. So this is kind of nice because you can kind of adjust here. But it probably would have made more sense to have dots that go maybe all the way around. Maybe you just have so few different sizes that you can fit on this printable area here that they wanted to have them focus right in the middle, but I'm going to leave them kind of right about there as we try it out, and then you have the HyperX logo silk screened on there. Now if I flip it over, you'll probably see right there that we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, so you can do audio monitoring, and then we also have the plug for the mini USB that'll go right in there. So other than that, I don't see anything else that you have to do. You can just plug this into your computer and start rocking and rolling. So I am going to do this right now. We will test it with my existing microphone and then as well as this HyperX and see if this one is the business. Okay, so I'm sitting at my desk and I have this little budget cardioid microphone right here. It's not expensive, but it's been a pretty good little microphone. And this is an example of the audio that you can expect from this microphone. And I use it a lot. It's pretty easy to get around, but I want to show you here a demonstration of the audio quality, as well as I'm going to go ahead and tap the desk that it's sitting on. So there's no vibration isolation on this microphone. Obviously, you can see that it is just physically connected to the arms here. So that's kind of one thing if you're doing stuff with, you know, things on your desk or hidden keyboard or whatever it might be, you might have that translating through the microphone itself. The other thing I want to compare here is just the audio quality that you can expect. I'm sitting about 18 inches away from it, just talking in a normal voice, and you can just judge how rich my voice sounds, or if you like the temperature of it or the tone of it. And now we will go ahead and plug in the HyperX and try that one out next. All right, so the HyperX is dialed in here. I have actually turned the gain up just slightly, so just slightly above the middle, and it's probably very easy to see here that this HyperX is glowing red. Now, if I tap the mute button on top, and if I tap it again, it turns back on. So it's pretty cool. A lot of times microphones will have a little blue light or something that shows that they are on, but this obviously makes it really obvious that you are live, on air, ready to record. Now, I'm just going to put it back down on my desk where the other microphone was. It's tilted towards me pretty good here. I'm going to just tilt it down a little bit. And first of all, I'm going to go ahead and tap the desk just like I did before, and I want you to see if that isolation, that spring-loaded isolation mount, helps as I tap things and move them around a little bit, work on my keyboard, those types of things. Because I think a little bit of that isolation on those bungee cords will go a long way to improving the quality of the audio experience for the people on the other end of my calls, and allow me to do some things like take notes or write down things without maybe disturbing them as quite as much as it would on a normal microphone. The other thing I want you to do here is judge the audio quality for yourself, because what I really want is usually an experience for the other person that sounds like a radio studio. You know, good bass, good clarity, isolating out the extraneous noise around you, just making it seem like people are right there. Because sometimes, especially on video conferencing or over the web, you know, the video can be a little laggy sometimes. But if you're getting really good audio and you're not getting that tinny, faded outside noise, the experience can still be really good for people because they can hear you really, really well. And that's really what a lot of people want. You know, sometimes they'll be looking away doing other things, or they're used to being on a phone call, but having a really good audio experience on a video conference is important to me. The other thing about this is, will this work for you if you are making videos? You're a creator doing YouTube videos or LinkedIn videos or leading webinars or online classes. Or are you doing podcasting? You really want good audio pickup. Something like this might be a solution for you because it's not super expensive, and yet it has a lot of the features that other microphones have without having to have like a big boom arm and that bungee cord mount and all these other things. It's a nice slim package. It sits right on your desk. It's really easy to plug in. It's totally plug and play as far as I can tell. Now, it's not super cheap. You know, this microphone is a couple $100, but in the world of microphones, there are lots of microphones that I've tested that are pretty average for even more money than that. So I will let you be the judge of whether you like this microphone or not. But if you want to pick up this HyperX, it's really cool. Seems to work. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out. It's USB to micro USB. That's not true.